Okay, now we examine the next questions. This is open-ended questions. And this setup, when you go secondary one, you'll be able to do this experiment in the laboratory. So water is mixed with blue ink and being heated by a Bunsen burner. Okay, as this mixture is being heated, right, water will evaporate. So actually you can draw the blue arrow to indicate water evaporate. And notice here, this is a metal tray. Okay, why they use metal tray? Because metal is a good conductor of heat. So imagine the hot water vapor, right, or the warmer water vapor, they will lose heat to the metal tray and condense to form tiny water droplets. So this part, right, explain why water droplets had formed on a metal tray. So you can say that the warmer water vapor lost heat to the cooler surface of the metal tray and condensed to form tiny water droplets. Okay, because mist, here, because you can see, right? So they ask you, say, Doreen noticed a cloud of mist forming. That means visibly she can see. Okay, visibly can see means it's not a gas, okay? So that's why this one, you must put tiny water droplets. You cannot put water vapor because water vapor is invisible. Okay, so there's tiny water droplets. And the color of this liquid is actually pure water. So it's colorless. Okay, it's colorless. So you take note of this. And then next question, part D. Can you continue with part D before I share the answer? I'll do a pause recording here. Okay, let us continue with question 2. What is the importance of the water cycle? As you can see here, right? I'm really doing a screen share. So you should say that the water cycle ensures the continuous supply of water for the survival of all living things. So the focus is continuous supply. Okay, because the water cycle happens to these two processes, evaporation and condensation. Okay, then part B, you are supposed to name two factors that affect the rate of evaporation. In fact, for primary 5, right, you have learned that actually there are 4 factors. So out of these 4 factors, you are required to name 2 and then describe how these factors affect the rate of evaporation. So normally I would recommend you to choose the more common one, which is the exposed surface area and the temperature of the surrounding. So you have identified these 2 factors, right? Exposed surface area and the temperature of the surrounding. Okay, then you have to describe. So the greater the exposed surface area, I have written in short form, plus please spell out this, the higher the rate of evaporation. And then secondly, the higher the surrounding temperature, the higher the rate of evaporation. Okay, I'd like to draw your attention to these 4 factors, which I printed in my book here. Rate of evaporation, ROE, is decreased by. So if you want the rate of evaporation to decrease, right, there are these 4 options. Number 1, you decrease the exposed surface area. Okay, can you see this hand pointing downwards? Means decrease. Secondly, you decrease the temperature. Okay, because I want the rate of evaporation to decrease. Okay, thirdly, I use the speed. Okay, decrease the wind velocity or the wind speed. Okay, but finally, you see this one pointing up. Humidity increase. Okay, because humidity is the amount of water vapor in the surrounding. So if the place is very humid, it's very difficult for evaporation to take place. Just like in Singapore, Singapore climate is considered humid. So that's why when you sweat, right, the sweat on your skin surface is more difficult to evaporate than, let's say, you are in a places that is drier, okay, or in the desert area. So this book is actually quite useful. I have listed several of this scientific concept dictation focus, SCDF. For example, rate of photosynthesis, right? These are the factors affecting rate of transpiration. Transpiration is plants losing water, okay, through either the stomata or other parts of the plant. So you can refer to this. And also seed dispersal, revision for P5, animal adaptations. So do take note, this topic, right, animal adaptation, very likely will be tested in this year, 2022 PSLE, after this topic has been removed for the last 2 years. So when we come back to our discussion,